Why looking poor is important. What if I told you that the people who look rich are often the ones drowning in debt, and the people who look poor are quietly building empires? Sounds upside down, right? But that's the paradox of wealth. It rarely wears designer clothes. Real wealth doesn't scream. It whispers. It hides behind simplicity, behind the ordinary, behind the man driving a used car while owning 3 properties. See, looking poor isn't about pretending or faking humility. It's about understanding the game of money. It's about mastering your mindset before you master your wardrobe. Because wealth isn't about how much you spend. It's about how much you keep and how you think. Let's be honest, we live in a world where people are pressured to look successful even before they become successful. Social media has made comparison the new currency. Your neighbor gets a new car. You feel behind. Your friend posts a vacation. You start doubting your own progress. So you start spending. You buy the shoes, the watch, the phone, the lifestyle. Not because you truly need it, but because you don't want to look broke. But here's the harsh truth. Trying to look rich keeps most people poor. People work jobs they hate just to buy things they don't need, to impress people who don't care. It's a never-ending cycle, chasing status instead of freedom. And the pain comes when you realize the things that make you look rich are often the very things that stop you from becoming rich. It's like watering the leaves of a plant while starving the roots. It looks good for a while, until it dies from the inside out. Most people quit their financial journey early because the rewards of real wealth come slowly. You save, you invest, you live simply, and for years, it seems like nothing's changing. You look around, and everyone else seems ahead. They're flashing success while you're quietly grinding. And that's where most people break. They trade long-term growth for short-term image. But here's where everything changes. Once you understand the secret of quiet wealth, let me tell you something that changed my life. Money grows in silence. Wealth isn't a straight line. It's a curve that starts slow and then explodes. It's called compound growth. Let's say you invest $500 a month for 10 years. For the first few years, it feels like nothing's happening. But by year 10, that money doesn't just add up, it multiplies. Because your interest starts earning its own interest. It's like planting a seed. The first few months, the ground looks empty. People walk by and think nothing's happening. But underground, roots are forming. Deep, invisible, powerful. Then one day, the sprout breaks through, and everyone calls it an overnight success. That's how real wealth works. It's invisible before it's inevitable. The moment you stop caring about looking rich and start focusing on growing rich, you flip the script. You stop playing defense and you start playing offense. Because when you're not wasting money on image, you're free to invest it in assets, in businesses, in skills, in knowledge, in yourself. Every dollar you don't spend pretending becomes a soldier working for your future. Here's the most beautiful part. Once you build consistency, your growth accelerates. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and slow, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, more weight, more speed. That's momentum. At the start of your journey, your progress feels invisible. You're saving $100 here, investing $200 there, skipping the new sneakers everyone else is buying. But 5 years in, 10 years in, your snowball becomes unstoppable. That's when you start to see what I call the quiet explosion. Your savings earn you returns. Your returns earn you more returns. Your small habits, reading, learning, delaying gratification, compound just like your investments. And soon, while others are working to maintain appearances, your money starts working for you. It's like climbing a mountain. The first part is slow, exhausting, discouraging. But once you reach a certain altitude, the view changes, and gravity starts helping you. You're no longer struggling to survive. You're moving with purpose. That's what happens when momentum kicks in. The game shifts. You no longer chase, you attract. So, how do you actually get there? Let's break it down into a few simple, timeless principles. 1. Play offense. Build your income engine. Most people play defense. They try to save their way to wealth. But you can't save your way to freedom on a small income. You need to build income streams. That could mean starting a side hustle, learning a high-income skill, or creating something that earns while you sleep. Think of it like building a machine, one that prints cash not by luck, but by design. 2. Play defense. Protect your money like a guard dog. Wealth isn't just about earning more. It's about losing less. Every time you spend emotionally, every time you try to prove something, you're digging your own grave a little deeper. So protect your money, track it, respect it. When you see your finances like a garden, you stop pulling out your own plants just to show others the roots. 3. Leverage. Make time and money work together. Time is your most powerful asset. If you invest early, time multiplies your effort for free. But here's the key. If you're always upgrading your lifestyle, you'll never give your investments a chance to grow. Learn to delay. Let your wealth mature before you enjoy it. Because the longer you let your money breathe, the stronger it gets. Or focus. Don't get distracted by the noise. Everyone will have an opinion. Some will say you're cheap, boring, too disciplined. But guess what? Their judgment won't pay your bills. Silence the noise. Stay focused on your lane. Remember, the turtle didn't win because it was fast, but because it kept moving. Here's where the real transformation happens. Not in your bank account, but in your identity. At first, you operate from a survival mindset. You think, I just need enough to get by. You save pennies, you stress over every purchase, you fear missing out. But over time, as your foundation grows, something powerful shifts. You move from surviving to strategizing. You stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an architect. You no longer chase validation, you chase value. You don't ask, can I afford this? You ask, will this make me richer, financially or mentally? And suddenly, simplicity becomes luxury. Peace becomes status. Freedom becomes your flex. You realize that the true goal was never to look rich. It was to be free. To wake up and know you don't owe anyone anything. To make choices based on desire, not debt. To walk into a store knowing you could buy it and choosing not to. That's power. That's wealth. That's the quiet confidence of those who look poor but own their time, their freedom, their future. And that's when the world starts to notice. Not because you're showing off, but because you've built something real, something unshakable. Let them chase status. You're chasing freedom. Let them post luxuries. You're building legacies. Remember, money is a mirror. It reflects your discipline, not your desire. And if you stay consistent, if you stay humble, if you keep building quietly, one day you'll wake up and realize you don't need to look rich anymore. You are. So don't quit early. Don't trade peace for approval. The game of wealth is won by those who are patient enough to look poor while they're becoming powerful. Because one day, when the noise fades and the dust settles, you'll stand there, calm, free, untouchable. And they'll ask, how did you do it? And you'll smile and say, I stopped trying to look rich. I started learning to be rich. If this message resonated with you, reflect on where you are right now. Ask yourself, are you building wealth or just displaying it? And if you're ready to choose the quiet road, the road of growth, discipline, and freedom, start today. Because the best investment you'll ever make is in the version of you who no longer needs to prove anything to anyone.